G'day guys, my name's Josh. You can call me JaWoodle, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die in Alpha 18, where I'm standing atop of the MVP Tower in JaWoodle Park 2, once again to come back and continue to try and experiment with this game, to see what we can do to make this game work the way we want it to work. And I'm back today because I'm finally coming back to an idea that I kind of stumbled upon a couple of episodes ago, where you can make it basically an invisible cage for the zombies out of the force field trick. If you're not sure what the force field trick is, there's a video, or several videos actually, on how that all works. You have to go back and watch those ones. But basically, you can trap zombies into an invisible cage as if they were mimes on a French corner somewhere, and you can keep them there for your slaughtering pleasure. But I need to figure out exactly how that's going to work, exactly how to build that, which is why we're here today. But before I go out there and figure out how to build it, I need to head down past the Board of Honors in the MVP Tower, down to the Hall of Legends, to say thank you to 3 more superstars making all of this possible. And today we are thanking Lee S, John W, and Toby S. So thank you 3 and everyone else. Jesus, there is lots and lots of names on the board now for all of your wonderful support. More and more people join all the time. The Hall of Legends is, of course, the hall where I put all the legends on Patreons up on the wall to say thank you. I've closed off my door somehow, just like skip through there, never mind. So yeah, more people are joining all the time, which is wonderful to see. I'm running out of space though. Alright, let's go find a place to start building. Some fuck grade will probably do, maybe down here next to the car elevator and the underground bunker. Oh, I'm already seeing some glitches in my world though. I don't have a wire tool out right now, but it's still showing me all of the motion sensor cone of view. Interesting, I've only just done the episode, and I might have to restart the server already. Oh boy, this world is slowly dying around me, and I don't like it. I have to save JaWoodle Park 2. Okay, I think we're all right. Need just to make sure the world is running as it should do, loading all the other buildings in. Yep, we're looking okay. Some of the bigger stuff out here doesn't quite get loaded in all the time, like Zombie Ski Ball and Zombie Plinko. That's out there too. They're too far away for the game to worry about it. And at this point, I'm kind of glad I did that, because it seems like this world is slowly but surely ripping itself apart. And I don't want to give it any extra work to do by loading in all of the bigger builds over there. So, I need to find myself a nice empty space. And now that I've kind of hollowed out this big chunk here for the car lift, I should probably like kind of even that up on this side as well. So we're going to go from like maybe like there, and just going to get this whole area here just to be nice and flat. Just get this all cleared out so I have a nice easy place to build everything. Now people ask me a lot how I do that blue block clear. I've explained it a lot of times before, but I'll explain it again here now because it's very quick to explain. Basically, you press Z, you choose one corner of the square and the other corner of the square, you press K, you press dynamic prefabs and clear selection, and then when it's done you press backspace. That's it. Nice and simple, nice and easy. That's all you have to do when you're in DM mode to get a nice big area of clean area to build on. Let's get rid of all of this as well. I could do that trick again, but it's like a little bit, so I should be okay just doing that. There we go. Okay, how is this actually going to work? So we kind of stumbled across it a little while ago when we were building, I think it was this one, the pyramid base, the spider base, or the War of the Worlds base, whatever you want to call it. I was building that one, and I kind of stumbled across it there. So I think we might go back to that idea of having the zombies go up and then drop into the cage and then be trapped on all sides by a force field. We'll try that one first, and we'll see where we end up after that. So the reason I went through the effort to clear out this whole space here is because I don't want, as we discovered before, any high points nearby the base, because zombies want to get to the same altitude as you before they try and get to the same horizontal latitude as you. So you kind of got to make sure that nothing is around that might distract them. So I'll just go like this, build myself a nice little tower to start with. I think this is what I had last time, just an easy little tower like that kind of put me over the top of them. Let's get a half block and just bang it on the end so I can still be like in the center of the thing without actually blocking my view down at the zombies underneath. And then underneath that, just from there, we're just going to dig ourselves a nice little square. Doesn't have to be too big, maybe just kind of that wide, I suppose. How wide actually is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 by 5 might do the trick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, oh, damn it, that was one too many. Oops, damn it, take that back. That's the thing, you click too many times and suddenly you're just ruining your design. So this was essentially all it was. It's just a force field in a square all the way around, nothing too special there. And on the other side was just like a little kind of stairway for the zombies to go up and make their way across. Now I had it too high last time, which I think was the right kind of way to do it. Now last time I had them try to jump up to reach me, which kind of worked. I'm building this one a little bit lower this time, so maybe it won't work as well. But if that's the case, I'll just bang a wedge tip or something on the end here and just have them kind of slide down that way. But that's kind of like, that was essentially what I built last time. That kind of got it to work, but not especially well. So we'll start off with something just to see how the zombies go with this. As always, we will get Chelsea out there, and that's not what I wanted. Didn't spawn as many Chelseas at all. There we go. All right, get their attention. Come over here, please, Chelsea. What are you gonna do? Well, you're going for the base of my actual tower, which is no good. I really didn't want you to do that. Stop that, please. These girls are going the right way. You're up, and you're down, and you're in the middle. Okay, and the other, so 1 out of 4 didn't do what I wanted to do, but one of them did. And now she is just stuck down there in the middle, can't go anywhere, has no escape, just gonna stand there and run in circles for a while, and more importantly, is not resorting to beating on stuff. That seems, that's gonna be the key, I think. You're hugging my pole. Wait, I jinxed it. I forgot to tap on wood when I told her she wasn't beating on shit, and now she's beating on shit just to spite me. Okay. Well, that's alright though, because that's kind of what they were doing last time. I was surprised that it was another freaking chainsaw. They're always chainsaws in zombie jobs. Every single zombie job I get is a goddamn chainsaw. But that's okay. So if you're going to start beating on stuff, that's more reminiscent of what they did last time and not something new. So we can work with that. So I feel like to get this to work properly, I mean, sure, for the most part, they kind of stand down there and huddle underneath you. Well, I mean, it was only a huddle of one, but it's still, I guess, can you huddle with just one person? I'm not sure. But if I give them something to do down there, like throwing a little fuzzy ball into a hamster cage, they won't get bored and they won't start eating each other. So I feel like that might be what I have to do next. Just refine this a little bit to try and get them to work. But to do that, maybe I should sink this down into the ground. Maybe that's going to be a better option so they don't try and beat on my pylon over here. So right about now, some of you are probably thinking that this is very reminiscent of the base that I tried and failed at in Alpha 17. I've already tried to make a zombie cage at one point in the past using force fields, and they did just not want a bar of it. I sunk a pit into the ground, I put some force fields around the edges next to the walls and sent zombies in, and they just were like, yeah, nah, mate, I'd rather go to a bar with my mates than hang out with your sorry face, and just GTFO'd out of there and went off and shagged a Sheila somewhere. So it didn't really work for me then. I want to see if it'll work for me now. They have rejiggered some of the AI in Alpha 18, so I think it might actually work. But what I might have to do, I might end up doing, in fact I will end up doing, where is it? Where's my wedge tip? There it is. I'll just bang a wedge tip kind of right on the end of this one here, because they can't grip onto a wedge tip. They'll stand on that and they'll fall down to the bottom and they'll go down there and land on whatever plate I have set up for them. So this is how deep it's going to be around the edge, and I'll build my my force field off the edge, maybe like 4 blocks up. So it should still all work the same, I hope, but maybe this will stop them seeing as digging as an option. There we go. I've built my pit, so it's exactly the same as it was up on the surface, but now it's just down 4 blocks. I've got some pillars in the walls just in case they do manage to get down the bottom and tunnel it out. I mean, it shouldn't really matter, but I just like the aesthetic of having it actually like hung there and suspended and actually supported rather than just stuck into a sand wall. This looks like it makes more sense in the physical world than it did beforehand. So it's really just the same thing as before. I want to give this a try out before I tried out with their little hamster ball down there. So let's get some Chelsea's back like that, get their attention. All right, well, so this time, oh, yep, no one's going for my pylon, which is good. They're going up onto their little ladder over here. They're beating on the stairs, which always annoys me. Stop. So why? Some of you were already going. You loved, look at that. You want to get up there, you want to go play, then you just decide that, yeah, no, you want to tear it all down instead. For goodness sake, you're like a bunch of cats that I bought a toy for on the internet, and I pulled the toy out of the box. You just want to play with the cardboard instead of the actual toy itself. Oh, how thoroughly disappointing. Okay, well, I need to fix that up a little bit. Maybe like some wider stairs might be the go. I'm not quite sure. Oh, actually, you know what I'm kind of thinking now? Because I've sunk this down, I feel like I don't actually need this to go up anymore, at least not at the very, very start. So I might get rid of the old schlong over here and just kind of reconfigure it to be in a little bit more of a different layout. Is this going to be a chainsaw? It is not a chainsaw. Ooh, interesting. The game's decided it doesn't want to give me chainsaws anymore. That's a welcome change to me. Get rid of your body as well. So maybe just a flat little bridge like this kind of thing maybe might be the go, all the way out to the middle, about Yeah, one more about that. And I'll make it 3 wide so that it's still in the middle and symmetrical, because symmetricality always matters as well as aesthetics. We all know the rules. So they come all the way out there. They shouldn't get in a bit of a logjam anymore. Hopefully get to the end and fall down and see what happens down the bottom. Let's paint those black again, because I quite like the look of that. There and there. Okay, let's give that a crack. Let's get some Chelseas out there. And before they get mad at me, put myself back on my black block up the top. Get their attention. All right, here we go. What are you going to do this time? Yep, straight up. That's nice. And they're going to come down this way. Oh, they're trying. They're thinking. All right, one's gone in, and the others are all just very, very confused. One's fallen down into the force field, and the other one's doing laps. Huh, okay. Well, none of you are acting in a consistent or relatively simple manner. You're all doing all sorts of things. God, who spiked your cookie dough with red cordial? There we go. Now we have 2 on the outskirts and 2 in the middle. All right, well, let's just see what the 2 in the middle are doing. Let's get rid of you, and let's also get rid of... Damn it, there we go, get rid of you. What are you 2 doing down here? How are you reacting to being in the force field? You're standing in the middle, you're cuddling each other, you're weeping and hoping for anyone to come and save you. That's fine, that's kind of what I wanted. They haven't started digging yet. Every time I say I haven't started digging yet, she hears me and she goes and digs it. Maybe I shouldn't jinx it anymore. Come on, Josh. Stop putting your foot right into your mouth and putting your toes all over your tonsils. I just had an idea and I have no idea how it's going to work. I'm going to get the stainless steel wedges, both the wedge tips and the normal wedges, and bang you straight onto there, like... like that. I forgot that I wasn't in my body. Alright, sorry. Never mind, keep on going. Get you connected back up onto there, and like there, and like that. And then on the top of that, I'm going to go the same thing again. However, I'm going to go and put them up vertically, and then just on the other side, I'm going to put another wedge tip. So really, I'm hoping they'll see this, and they'll think, oh, that's something for me to jump. They'll run up, and they'll go, I have to get up to him up there. Huh? And they'll, let's say, land right on, like, the nipple up here. They'll land right on there and slide down into the cage. Hopefully that worked a little bit better than it did last time. That looks kind of like, remember that stupid S everyone used to draw in high school, like the cool S, whatever it was? I don't know, I don't remember what it was called anymore. It's been a long time since I was drawing it. Maybe I should start drawing on my desk just to feel like one of the cool kids again. It looks kind of like that. Okay, so we got that one down there, or like a little like jagged speed bump or something. Got that one going for me. Let's get some more Chelseas and see if they like that a little bit better. AI on. Alright, up onto the bench, and then run this way, and see that, and jump, and down. Ah, look at that! That's perfect! That's exactly what I just, that little brain fart I had, a little bit of gas just like seeped out of my ears, cleared up enough space in the old noggin upstairs that for once I had a semi-decent idea. Alright, you're beating on shit, I don't know why, there you go, you jump down. Someone's beating on something downstairs, I'm not sure where. I'm really gonna have to put that hamster ball in there because they seem to be getting really kind of stir crazy. They're getting cabin fever and they're not even a Muppet. Cabin fever. Ah, God, I love that movie. I'll sing that forever. So the nice thing here is, aside from one Mupp getting all the way to the outside of the force field, which is a little bit scary, but all of them are just kind of giving up. They're standing below me, they don't know what to do. Get their attention again. Look, she's cruising around on the outside. Not sure how she got out there, but if that were to happen in the normal game, you just like focus on them first. But for the most part, the cage seems to be working. This is the part where I say they're not digging, and then one of you goes and starts digging, right? Is you gonna do that for me? You're gonna continue the tradition of completely sticking both your middle fingers right into my eye sockets? Because I think you might. Nope, they're just stuck. They're just stuck and happy and chilling out down there. Okay, well, I still don't trust you guys not to start digging on shit. You gotta, yep, there you go. There you go. Took you a while, but you got there eventually. But more importantly, this is showing some promise. So we're slowly but surely heading towards an idea that might actually work for us. This cool S drop is making me very, very happy. It's working exactly how I thought it might in my head. Come on, chainsaw. No more chainsaws. They've given up on the chainsaws. How am I supposed to clear the 0 trees I have left now? I really don't think it's going to take much to try and keep them entertained. So what I might do is just go like this. I might even, you know what? I might even utilize that cool S drop again. So let's go like that, and we'll do the same thing again. We'll get you, copy rotation. It's always going to have the one on the bottom, because let's be honest, if it ain't the cool S, then it ain't just worth building. And go like this, and we're going to get that one, copy that rotation, like that, and then that rotation, copy that one too, and bang you there. Although... oh, that's gonna make them drop kind of right on the limits of the force field, and I don't know. We'll leave it there for now. We'll give it a crack and see how it goes, but I don't really have any faith that that's gonna work the way I want it to. And just to make this look a little bit nicer, because aesthetics always matter, guys. I always say it. You gotta believe me. If you're not gonna make an aesthetically pleasing base, please don't build anything. Just go dig a hole and live in that instead. That looks like the Loch Ness Monster. Looks like a goddamn dinosaur. How did I somehow end up with that? Whatever, doesn't matter. Get all this painted to look kind of nice, like that. Okay. I'll just build one there. I'll build another one on the other side and see if I can get the zombies to kind of think that, oh, I have to get back up to his level. So I'll run up this thing. I'll jump off the top. Oh, no, I'm back down the bottom again. Oh, I have to get up to his level. Hey, look, here's some stairs. I'll run up. I'll jump to the top. Oh, no, I'm back on the same level again. Oh, I need to get up onto his level. So hopefully they'll get stuck into that loop over and over and over again. And I'll just be sitting up here, sitting pretty, throwing mollies down left, right, and center. So let's get another one built on this side as well and kind of get it the same, exactly the same on both sides. We're gonna have two little pet dinosaurs down in that dinosaur pen. Look at him, I couldn't resist. I'm gonna call them dinosaurs. They need their little T-Rex arms. That's amazing. I love that so that makes a little 6-year-old inside me a very, very laughy boy. Alright, there we go. Got our dinosaurs downstairs now with their super awesome clawy arms. Let's get some shells to see if they want to go play with the dinos downstairs. There we go. Go down, please. Make sure I'm right where I need to be, right on the edge. Alright, where are you going to go? Jump, yep, jump, jump, jump. Everyone's going down. Now, the important thing here is, are they going to play with the dinosaurs? So far, so good. Up to the top. Yep, jumping over the top. Like, oh no, I'm still down here. Let's do the loop again. I mean, it's probably a bit of a small space for 5 of them. They're all getting stuck on each other. You guys need to just clear the way a little bit. Why do you all choose one dinosaur to play on? That guy over there is getting all lonely and sad because you're all riding his best friend. Look, if your cheerleader friend goes and rides your best mate, that's going to be issues for lots of different people. But look at it, there's 4 girls swarming all over your friend. Man, I feel sorry for that dino over there. That's the me dino. This is all the other boys' dino. I think this would actually work really well. Oh, she's made it out to the sand. You stop that, please. So have you. So that's the kind of the main concern right now, is that they kind of get up to the top, jump over the edge, and they have a chance to go far enough that they get out of the force field. So I'm going to get rid of both of you. Thank you for your service. And I'm going to break the necks of my dinosaurs. I just built them, and I feel kind of bad about that. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going to amputate them first of all, because let's be honest, if they don't have the little arms, they don't look like dinosaurs quite as much, and like I don't humanize or dinosaurize the structure so much. There we go, behead that dinosaur and that one. It is no longer a dinosaur. I don't have to feel guilty anymore. Let's get some sandstone and patch up a little hole I just dug into the wall. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get them, so I'm going to try and get them to jump into the middle instead. So same kind of idea, except we're going to go like this, and we're going to get our wedge tips, and just like right on the edge here, go like that, copy face, and we're going to keep that one there just for the moment because we're going to have to copy that one in a second, and like that, and get you, and there we go. Okay, so that was not quite the way I wanted it to work, but I'm going to get the same kind of thing going. Oh, damn it, Josh, pay attention to what you're doing. Same kind of thing going, but I'm going to get them to try and jump into the middle instead of jumping onto the outskirts on the outside. So hopefully that will work the same way. I don't know. It looks bloody ridiculous down here, but I don't know. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll be okay. Let's try this again. 5 choices again. Don't know where you're going, love. That's not the way you're supposed to be going. Yep, just going all the way around the outside. Alright, cool. No whackers. They're stuck up there. You're on the outside. So still not a completely perfect design, but it seems to be working reasonably well. There we go. They're now down there. How are they looking on their new play equipment? Not quite as successful as before. Now they're just seeing it as an issue and kind of running into it the wrong way. I think it's a little bit too low that they reckon they can make it up that way instead of going around on the stairs. But the important thing here is they're not trying to tunnel their way through the force field, nor are they trying to get past the force field. Once they're in the invisible cage, they're there forever, and there's no real worries. What happens, say, if I get rid... Oh, shit. If I get rid of your play equipment? What happens if I get rid of the jungle gym, and now you're just down there all by yourself? Does that work a little bit better? I mean, yes, kind of. That's interesting. I was not expecting that to work at all. So one block is enough of an altitude change that they think that's where they need to go. So they focus on that. No one's trying to run outside. No one's trying to do anything. No one's digging. Didn't even have to knock on wood and look at them. They're just like in a perpetual circle, just cruising around easy as you like. Okay, interesting. Well, let's see if I can continue that. Let's get some more Chelseas out there. Make sure I'm moving the camera, not my person. All right, let's get them to join the party too. Over the cool S drop, up and over. Oh, almost. You're on the nipple. Get off my nipples. There you go. Good. All right, they're now down there. How many zombies can this hold? Like, could this hold an entire horde? That's the only problem, though. Sometimes they get caught on the outside of the force field, which means they'll try and tunnel their way out of there. Maybe there's... Oh, you know what? Maybe there's like a contingency plan I can make just in case they do make it across the force field. Maybe I can make it a little more secure. But so far, I've had to kill, what, 2 zombies? And that's just like a rarity. But the rest of them are fine. Just kind of all being happy little hamsters down there. They have their hamster ball and they're stroking the fur. I've evened up the little fuzzy balls for them to play with inside the hole. So now hopefully they won't get too stuck on it. And they won't just kind of get in one little loop. Or like expanded their horizons and like doubled the amount of play area for them. If that doesn't work, I'll go back to the one I had a second ago. I just like it looking a bit more symmetrical. I kind of like the pylons on the side of a road. But what I'm going to do, just in case they do get across the force field, is borrow an idea that I had a while ago. In fact, all the way back at the start of Alpha 17. If you remember like the AFK base that I did with like the big drop down and then the big ramp leading out, so they kind of went in the big circle like that, or numerous other different versions like the blender, a whole bunch of different bases that I built back in Alpha 17 that utilized a way for the zombie to come down and then get out again and then follow the same path. So hopefully this will mean if they do make it to the outskirts of the force field, they will come this way, take this option to get out rather than ruining my nice lovely sand walls in here. So giving them an option, this is kind of the best way to really zombie proof any sort of base you might have. Give them a weakness to focus on. I talk about it quite a lot, and I leave it in comments and stuff a lot when people ask me what they should do to try and fix some zombie pathing, and I always tell them to give them something to aim for, give them something to focus their attention on, so if there is a weakness somewhere else, they will kind of ignore it. It's just kind of like a foolproof idea to kind of make sure that if there is something you've overlooked, it's not going to spell disaster for you on a horde. I'm going to go all the way out to here, just far enough away from the actual stairs, maybe to like here, I suppose. So we'll go out to that one and put a couple of ladders up. So if they do make it outside here, they'll run this way, up the ladder, back to the start to do it all over again. It's worked before in Alpha 17. I haven't tried it in Alpha 18 yet, so I guess you and I are going to discover this at the same time, whether or not this is a viable option or not. My money is maybe. I don't think it'll work as successful as it did last time. And I probably should have seen that coming, Josh. It's goddamn sand. We've talked about this before. It has the structural integrity. Well, you know how the rest of that goes. That's a nice little throwback to those of you who might remember that joke from a long time ago. First one to put that into a comment down below, I will love heart and pin it to the top because I want to see who remembers that joke. It's a long time ago now, so full credit to you if you do. But if I just put these pillars in here just to make it look a little bit nicer, that should be just about done. Look at this. That's the, like, just the thing. A couple of extra blocks just to like add some more like aesthetics to it, just to make it look a little bit more refined. Adds so much to it. It looks so dumb if it was just like a sand cave with nothing else actually supporting anything, but that looks just about right. So they fall down here, run down here, they then climb up these ladders, they're back up the top, and they are ready to try again. All right, let's put myself back up here and see how they go. I was actually planning on doing a couple of different versions of this to see what the best one was going to be, but it seems like this, I mean, I don't really need to change this very much. I mean, I had to change the drop bit there, seeing they keep stepping on each other's nipples. Stop that. But for the most part, this design works as a whole. Yep, can you go down there, please? I'm having some trouble getting over that bit, so maybe the cool S drop isn't as good as what I thought it was going to be. I don't know, but so far down the bottom, they're looking pretty okay. But I wanted to see what happens if one of them makes it out of the force field. So that was a businessman. Didn't want to do that one. All right, get you guys going. Kill that Muppet because he was different to everyone else. He wasn't wearing a skimpy outfit, so I didn't appreciate it. And what's more, the fuzzy balls on the bottom of the pit don't be doing the same job as the uglier versions of themselves. All right, I see how it is. Well, I'll kill all of you guys then, and I'll go back and I'll retrograde these back to what they used to be, because that just didn't do anything. Oh, she's made it onto the outside of the force field. She's kind of stuck. Come on, what are you going to do? Get around the pillar. The pillar's costing me now. She's stuck on it a little bit. The others are all fine, just jumping on their little 1x1 block. Come on, get around the pillar while you're stuck. I was just talking about how good a pillar is. Now someone's digging, there's a bunch of them digging. Everything's gone awry. Everything's gone wrong. I dug that big tunnel out and changed how everything works. And surprise, surprise, I broke everything. Who saw that one coming other than every single goddamn person that's ever watched a JaWoodle video? Damn it, me! So I've changed the design to something a little bit more reliable. The cool S thing was great, and it worked a little bit because I wanted to try and jump up to my level. That's something I might explore a little bit more in the future, but they were kind of getting stuck on it. So with a little more refinement, I think that'll work really, really well. But I've gone back to something that's tried and true just to see how the force underneath works. The drop here isn't really the important part. There's a million different ways to get a zombie to go down into an area that you want it to do. I mean, you could just build a freaking, like, you go like this, you know, like the car hole over here. You could just build a hole in the ground with some like wedge tips all around the outside of it, and zombies would just run over it, not see that as an actual block, and fall straight in. There's 1,000 different ways you could do it, which is essentially what I've done here. But with this one, okay, I can come up from either side because I wanted to protect my pylon as well. And so far, I think this should work reasonably well. So I come over here. The only thing I'm worried about now is the altitude change is over here, not in the middle. So maybe I need to like go up another level and then then do the drop? I'm not quite sure. We'll see how it goes with that. But we're going to think altitude first, then horizontal. All right, let's get their attention. Let's get them rocking and rolling. How are they going to react to this new layout? Yeah, see, not quite as well as last time. They're not quite as eagerly running straight into the drop and down into the cage down below. But, I mean, this is going to be a good test of my little escape route for them. Yep, they're going to the exit. Make sure I keep their attention. It probably won't have on Horde Night is trying to keep their attention because they're always trying to get to you. But for the moment, I'm just going to make sure they are always focusing on me and not just running around in destroy everything mode. Oh, she's trying to get the ladder. There you go, sweetie. Good job using them calf muscles. So we've got 3 in the middle of the cage. 3 of them are stuck up the top and doing loops, which I can fix if I raise that drop another level. Okay, not actually that bad. That's enough for that one. Let's kill all of them. Thank you for your experimentation. And then all I want to do now is just fix up that little drop, and I think we'll be almost done. I'm really starting to lean on the whole altitude theory a lot with this one. So now, rather than getting up to the same level, then trying to fall into it, they're going to come up to here, and they're going to see this as the way they want to go. They're going to try and jump onto that. Now, they can't land on this pole here, because that takes up this block here. They're going to try and jump to this block, which of course has nothing in it, and they will fall down the middle down into the cage. That is the plan. That is the hope. I have no idea how well this is going to work, so we're going to find this out together. Let's get a bunch of Chelseas out there, stand on my little black block up the top here. All right, pop out of my body and get their attention and go. What's going to happen this time? Where are they going to go? They're going to come in. They're kind of stuck on the pole. I went with the pole instead of a plate because I thought it was going to be like a more substantial block for them to see and not kind of get hung up on, but it looks like I was completely wrong in thinking that. Come on, get over the top. All right, maybe the pole wasn't the way to go. I don't know. I'll change those out for plates in a second. But once they do decide to jump, look, foolproof. Straight down the bottom. Easy as you like. No whackers, big knackers. There we go. They're all down the bottom. They're all stuck on the little fuzzy balls. Yeah, no, I think that's going to work just fine. If they do make it out, then I know they'll try and go back over here. And this whole mechanism here works just fine. I reckon we've successfully made an invisible zombie cage, because then, I mean, look, you could make this on ground level if you wanted to. I just sunk it down instead of building everything up one. You could have it all on level ground, no worries. I just kind of like the look of having like a little divot full of zombies, because then I can get my Molotovs and just sit up here, easy as you like, and just start lobbing some fiery balls of death down somewhere. Did that not work? Can I not throw Molotovs anymore? What's wrong with my body? Okay, there we go. I'm not sure why I couldn't throw it when I was actually standing on the ground, but apparently I couldn't. Hey, you've got out of the force field, and you're beating on walls. You're supposed to take the exit route. What's going on? Why are you breaking all my rules I just laid out for you? God damn it. So I've changed up the trough here to be a big red glowing box of dropping. I've got some plates on the edge here, so they'll see that and jump over the top. That should work nice and easily. But down the bottom, I've put an extra little centered pole just on either side here. It's actually in the middle block here, like on top of that plate there you can see down the bottom. So it's not actually touching anything. So hopefully the zombies will see that and jump it. But I'm hoping it's low enough that they're like high stepping that the zombies kind of do. We'll just let them kind of run over the top of it and stop them jumping altogether. And it'll just make a nice like kind of smoother system down the bottom. Their fuzzy balls will be a little bit more fuzzy and a little bit more distracting to stop them kind of come up and eat my brain. So far, they're jumping over the plates nice and easy. That's exactly what I wanted. No more getting hung up on the pole. Oh, yes! Did you see that? That was the important thing. That was the golden moment. We missed it, though. We're looking at something else. They're all coming down nice and easily. Ready? And straight up. Yeah, look, they just take that as a step rather than seeing it as something they have to jump. Now, they're kind of beating on stuff down the bottom. I'm still not sure what the best kind of fuzzy ball method is going to be. But the important thing here is that they aren't going past the force field. We have them in a cage. We just need to keep them occupied inside that cage whatever way we can. What happens if I just go and get rid of, actually, get rid of you and get rid of you? No, damn it, get out of the way. There we go. Get rid of all that kind of extra stuff I added in there and just go back to kind of the OG version of all of this. How's that going to look? I feel like they're more docile with just that single block, you know? Like, sure, they're getting in each other's way a whole lot, but I feel like they're doing... Oh, nah. See, they got bored and they've gone and started breaking shit. One's gone and started breaking on my force field. So that's kind of, yeah, that's the conversation you've got to have with yourself, you know? Like, do you either make your fuzzy ball on the inside, something that the zombies never see, but they might get bored of pretty quickly, or do you make it something that they're completely distracted with that might take a little bit of damage? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the best fuzzy balls are going to be, but all I know is these invisible walls are keeping them in check kind of nicely, as long as I keep them distracted on the inside. I mean, there's 100 different ways you could configure this kind of thing. Like, the mechanism of keeping them inside the cage is always going to be the same, but how are you going to get them down into the cage cage, whether you build the cage on ground level, above ground level, or below ground level, and what you use as the fuzzy ball inside to keep them distracted, there's a million different things you could do. I'm not going to tell you what the best one is going to be because I just don't know. So all of them have their pros and cons and all of them have their drawbacks. It just depends on what you like the look of and what you think is going to work best for you. But effectively, as long as you're up here, like actually like manually managing the horde, like throwing some Molotovs down, grenades, shooting them, doing whatever you want to do, as long as you're, you know, refreshing the zombies and keeping new ones coming in all the time, I can't see something like this having any sort of issues. The only issues we ran into was the fact I wanted to keep them as pets for an indefinite amount of time and just left them down there to kind of figure out their own way to get under. Like if you have a dog in a small backyard, eventually he's going to dig under the fence. The zombies in a small yard are going to dig through your force field. So as long as you give them something to do, they should be okay. But if you leave them to get bored, you're going to have some issues. So just like with normal animals, you know, you've got to be humane and treat them nicely. You can't be cruel to animals. You should be cruel to zombies. But in this case, it might come back to bite you a little bit. Just like a pit bull. You treat it badly, you're going to get bitten. And that's not the pit bull's fault. So yeah, I think that's a reasonably successful build. That force field cage could be added onto a whole different kind of things. Like I see a lot of people building pitfall bases or fall drops or anything like that, but they kind of just fall zombies into a pit and then they beat on the walls and stuff while you're there trying to fight them. I haven't seen many ways, or anyone really, trying to control the zombies once they're down there, because it's all very well to put them in one spot, but if they're still going to do damage, well, then you've just moved where the damage is going to be, which is fine if it's in like a repairable area, but I kind of like making things as little effort as possible, as little repairs needed as you possibly can, which is why I built something like this. And I've seen there's a lot of people out there using the force field now. It's kind of proliferated even through the community, just like the Killing Corridor has. There's a lot of it out there, which makes me super duper happy. So this is just another way that you could use that to kind of improve your base however you might like. So please take this idea, run with it, tweet me photos or whatever you come up with. I always like seeing how these ideas evolve when other people have a crack at it, because that's what this is all about, sharing ideas and building off each other. And before I end this episode, actually, I did want to make a quick mention. A couple of episodes ago, I made a point of thanking all the people that watch my videos that aren't Patreons and maybe haven't subscribed yet, because all the numbers still count regardless if you're subscribed or not. And a bunch of people realized they weren't subscribed and subbed up and joined the wonderful community. So thank you all of those guys and all those people who are watching because it was on the browse page rather than actually being a subscriber. There's a massive little jump of all the people joining up on that day. So thank you everyone for listening to me ramble on about nonsense and build what I think are pretty cool bases. But I'll have to come back and build some more pretty cool bases in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to all the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you'd like to make sure the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.